Hey y'all. So my best friend was like, can you teach me how to make something to hold my condoms in? So this is what I came up with. A little contraceptive pouch. I'm going to show you guys how to make this. It's really quick and really easy. And of course you can use these same principles to make something else. Really all you need is a measuring tape so that you can get it to the exact size that you want. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so I'm gonna start off by telling you guys the materials. Of course, you're gonna need yarn of your choice. I'm saying yarn of your choice for this particular tutorial because we are going to be using a measuring tape to measure. So the size of yarn, hook size is really up to you, just as long as the measurements come out how they're supposed to. So this is the yarn I'm using. It's Caron Simply Soft. I love this purple. It's like an icy purple. And I like this hook right here, which is our Susan Bates 3.75 millimeter hook. And we're also going to be using a measuring tape. And let's see, I will be measuring in inches for the purposes of this tutorial. Sometimes I do measure in centimeters, but for this, I'm going to be measuring in inches. So let's get started. We are going to start with a magic ring. Now there's a lot of videos that start with 4 stitches and then you can, make a circle that way. But the magic ring really does work best for me. And I think it's just a lot neater in the end because you can pull it tighter and the hole actually closes in the middle and all of those things. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to grab your yarn. The tail end of your yarn is going to be here. I'm right-handed, so the tail end of your yarn is going to be here. This is your working yarn, the yarn that is attached to the ball, to the skein, to the yarn, okay? It's attached to this. Now, what you want to do is you want to take your fingers, hold it in your fingers like so, and then wrap it around, okay? Like a swan away at sea, I wrap my yarn away from me. So going this way, away from your body, and then you just hold it down like this, okay? So you've wrapped it and you hold it down. Now don't make it too tight, like put some space in between your fingers, wrap it. Lay this over like an X, like that. Then you wanna go underneath the yarn that you wrapped and pull this working yarn through. You want to take your hands and pinch, all right? And you can just pull this yarn down so that it's closer. It's not that big of a loop. So what you want to do is you have this pinched. So you want to prepare to crochet on this other hand. This is how I hold my yarn. And I will take these fingers and hold that so that I can now crochet with my hook. So that's how you do a magic ring. If you want to see that again, go ahead and rewind. And then you can go from there. But for now, we're going to move on. We're going to chain 3. 1, okay? 2, 3. You want to chain 3. I put my finger in this hole for stability, but you don't have to do that. Whatever is more comfortable for you. So you chain 3. We're going to do 2. This counts as a stitch. So we're going to do 2 more double crochets. You're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the hole, okay? Pull up the loop. You want to yarn over. Well, actually, let me show you. You have 3 loops on your hook now, right? So you want to yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the second 2. Yarn over, insert your hook, and pull up the yarn. You want to yarn over, pull through the first 2, then pull through the second 2. So here we have 3 stitches. These are the first 2. You can see the V's on top, And then this last V right here, that's the third chain from your chaining up of 3. And that counts as the top of that stitch. Now, we want to chain 1, okay? This is your corner. You'll see what I mean later. Yarn over, and we're going to do another cluster of 3. So yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go through the hole, pull up the yarn. You have 3 on the hook right here. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Okay? Yarn over one last time, go through, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So you have 3, a chain space, 3, and then we're going to make another chain space. Now we are going to yarn over, go through, pull up the loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up the yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 3 more double crochets after your chain space. You want to make your next corner by chaining 1. So cluster number 1, cluster number 2, cluster number 3. Yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the second 2. Yarn over, insert, pull up, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the second 2. Yarn over, and there you go. So now we have 1 set of 3, a chain space, 2 sets of 3, a chain space, 3 sets of 3, a chain space, 4 sets of 3, a chain space, or actually just 4 sets of 3. So what we want to do is, this is what makes the ring magical. You want to just pull everything closed, right? Now, okay, pay attention. Typically, tutorials will tell you to chain 1 because you have to have your chain space for the corner and just go into the top of your first chain and slip stitch. I do not do that because when you start the next row, you'll have to do a lot of finagling to get to the correct spot to start the next cluster of your granny squares. So what I like to do is make sure that my corners start in the corner, and you'll see what I mean. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to find the top of the first double crochet, the first chain 3, and you are going to insert your hook, and we're gonna make a single crochet. So you're gonna insert your hook, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, and pull through 2. All right? So let me do that one more time. So you are going to, we're not yarning over because we're just doing a single crochet, but you want to insert your hook into the top of the first stitch, which on the first row is going to be that chain up of 3, and you're going to pull the hook through with the yarn over, pull through 2. That's a single crochet. So the reason why we did a single crochet is because that's one chain space worth of space. So you do have your space, but now we are in the middle of that space so that we can start our corner. So what you want to do is you want to chain up 3, yarn over, and then in between the first cluster and the last cluster, that's where we're going to go. Okay, so you want to insert your hook, pull up the yarn, pull through the first 2, pull through the second 2, yarn over, insert, pull up, go through the first 2, go through the second 2. okay? Now, we are going to skip right on over to this second corner space, okay? The second corner space. You're not going to do any chains in between. You can in other granny square tutorials, they will show you that, but for the purposes of this, since we want it to be nice and compact and tight, we're not going to make any chain spaces. You want to just simply yarn over, go into this chain space right here, insert your hook, pull up, pull through the first two, pull through the second two, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up, pull through the first two, pull through the second two, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up, pull through the first two, pull through the second two, okay? Now, we have to make the rest of the corner, okay, so that it can be an actual square. So we're going to chain one, and we are going to yarn over, insert, pull up in this same chain space. So you have chained one, and we're going into the same exact chain space that we've been in. For this corner, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first two, pull through the second two. You're going to make 2 more double crochets the same way, okay? And then we're going to move on to the next one. So you're going to yarn over, go into the next chain space, insert your hook, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, okay? By now you should have the double crochet. So we're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 1, because we have to have a corner space for the next row. And we are going to yarn over, go into the same hole, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, okay? And now you see how we have corners forming. Okay, so we're gonna, without making any chains, we're gonna yarn over, go into the very next chain space, pull up loop, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, pull through the first 2, pull through the second 2, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up, pull through the first 2, pull through the second 2. Now we want to make a chain so we can make our corner, and then do the same thing, 3 double crochets right into the same space, okay? And we are going to take a look at this real quick. So what we have here is we have half of the corner from the first one. So we have half a corner, and then we have 1, 2, 3 corners. Now we are going to finish off this corner, and then we're going to start our next row. So you simply just go into the same chain space that you started in, and you just do 3 double crochets into the same chain space. Oops. The reason why I like to do my last corner like this, or well, I start off like this, is because if we didn't do that, we would just make 2 of these in every corner, but when you get to the end, you would end up having to slip stitch over to this hole. And I don't want to slip stitch because that just makes the end result look less neat. So I like to start in the middle of the corner with, I like to start in the middle of the chain space and make one corner go all the way around and meet with the next corner, so that we can do this, which is going to be making a single crochet into the top of the first double crochet that you made. So this is the first double crochet we made. We're going to insert the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, or pull through the 2 that are on the hook, making 1 single crochet. And so that's going to make one chain space worth of space for us to work into. And we are going to chain up 3 and continue to move. So we're going to do 2 double crochets here. And if you need to, you can slow this tutorial down. But yeah, it's pretty much the same thing from here on out. And we're going to move into the next space. This is not a corner, so you're only going to do 1 set of 3 here. Okay. So now this is like the actual edge of the square. So now we're going to move over to the next corner. No chains or anything, and we're going to insert, pull up, and pull up the yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Same thing. So we'll make our set of 3. Then you want to chain 1 to make your corner, and then another set of 3 in the same exact space. No chains or anything, yarn over, go directly into the next chain space, which is the edge right here. Yarn over, insert. Make a cluster of 3. Yarn over, go into the next corner. And make your corner, which is a set of 3, chain, and another set of 3, all in the same space. Okay, now we're making our last or our next edge. And like I said, you can slow this tutorial down, go back, rewind, do all of those things. And then we are going to go into our last edge space and make 3. Now we have our last corner here. Okay, so my battery had died, but basically what I did was just finish up this square, and I am back in the middle so that we can finish it up. So what I'm gonna do is, well, first of all, what we want to do is measure. So for the purposes of this tutorial and what we're making, which is I'm gonna call it a contraceptive pouch. We are making a little pouch that is about 2.5 inches. So this is just over from corner to corner. This is like just over the 2.5 inch mark. So like it's directly at 2.5 inches. So you can add a row of single crochet, which is what I'm gonna do, to make it just a tiny bit bigger so that you can put 2 of them in there and you'll still have space. So what we're gonna do is we're still going to start this row off the same, which is, you know, putting our single crochet into the corner so that we can have an open corner space. And then we are going to chain 1, and we're just going to put 1 single crochet in that space. Now we're going to because we know that this is 3 double crochets, sometimes it's hard when you do a chain up 3, it's hard to see the top of the actual stitch that it creates. So we're going to, in this hole that's right here, that hole, you see that hole right here, not this line, but this hole, we're gonna put 1 single crochet right there. Then where this line is, we're going to, that's the top of the stitch. So we're gonna put 1 single crochet there, 1 single crochet here, and we're gonna keep going until we get to the corner with single crochets in each stitch. Okay, So this is my last single crochet before the chain space. So we're not going into the chain space just yet. We only have one single crochet in the chain space that we created, and that's to start the row, and then we have a single crochet inside each stitch. Now in this chain space, we are going to put 3 single crochets because we have to turn the corner. And then if you pull this over, since this is a normal stitch, if you pull it all the way over, you'll be able to see the top of this stitch right here. So you want to pull it all the way over and you'll be able to see the top of the stitch. So you want to just keep going with 1 single crochet inside of each stitch. And so here we are again at the corner. We're going to make 3 single crochets in our corner space, and then we're going to pull this over so we can see the top of this stitch here, and a single crochet in there in each one. So continue to do that until you make your way all the way around. And now we are back to our chain space. Now remember, we started the row with 1 single crochet in the middle. Now I need to make 2 so that we will have 3 in that corner. And we are simply just going to slip stitch, which means you go through the top of the stitch. It's a little bit tight because that was the first one. Go through, pull through, okay? And then you're gonna pull this first yarn through the second yarn, okay? And then we're just gonna chain up 2, and you can either cut the yarn, rip it off, or however you want to do. Okay, so I ripped mine off because I can't find my scissors, and this is what we have. So we have a granny square that we have measured, and that is going to be perfect, a 3-inch granny square. Now, remind you, I said the purpose of this video is to make basically a condom holder, like something to slip condoms into, and you know, have to be discreet and cute. So for the purpose of this, we want it to be about 3 inches because a typical condom wrapper is about 2.5 inches, and we want to be able to fit 2 of them in there. So when you stack one on top of the other, it's going to take up a little bit of space, and that extra 1/2 inch between the 2.5 inches and the 3 inches is going to compensate for that space of 2 of them stacked together. You can very easily take this same principle of building your granny square to make something else and just keep going around and around and around until you get the size that you want. That's why it's important to have a measuring tape so that you can measure. So for example, if I was making a skirt, I would want my granny square to probably measure out to 6 or 7 inches, and I would just measure 6 or 7 inches. I would just keep going until I have 6 or 7 inches. I would use a bigger hook size, something like that. But the principle of making the granny square is there. So you just make your center square, and then you just keep building on that, okay? So this is granny square number 1. We need 2 granny squares. So I'm gonna go ahead and make another granny square, and then I will meet you back. I will go ahead and do a granny square in silence so that you can still see me doing the granny square in case you have any questions. I'll just leave it there for reference. But yeah, if you have any questions about how to get it started, the magic circle, or any of those things, I would suggest that you go back to the top of the video and watch that. Here I am putting my last slip stitch in. You do not want to cut your yarn. you want to just go ahead and continue on with putting them together. So what I'm going to do is make sure that I have the wrong sides facing each other. When you look at crochet, you can tell the right side from the wrong side, especially because when I do granny squares, I don't turn my work in between each row. I just continue on going around and around. So it makes a clear front and back side when that happens. So if you look at this, this is the front side. If you look at this, this is the back side, and you can tell the difference, okay? So I want the front sides to be away from each other because I want both sides to look neat on either side. And yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to attach them together. We're going to crochet on all three sides, and I am making sure that the side where I cut the yarn is like lining up with the end, or where I am right now on the one that I still have the working yarn attached to. So this is where I am on this one, and this is here, so I'm gonna just line those up. Now you just want to I take the yarn and like lay it over the project in my hand, like you see how this is underneath the yarn, the working yarn, and I'm just going to go into the last stitch that we created. It's going to be a little bit hard to get into this last stitch here, this one where the knot is coming out of, but try your hardest to get in there. If you absolutely cannot, don't worry about it. Just go into the next one and double up on the stitches. So that's probably what I'm going to do because I just don't have time. And we're just going to pull through both, okay? So we are going to go up, chain one, and then we're going to go into the same stitch that we just pulled through, and we're going to make a single crochet. And we're going to continue to do that on down. So go through the single crochet, go through the stitch on one, and then go through the stitch on the other one and attach them together. Go through both stitches and attach it together. So go through the stitch on this one and then go through the stitch on that one and attach it together. And we're gonna attach with single crochet. If you want to, you can do slip stitches if that's easier for you. But I like the finish of how the single crochet looks. So that's what I do. Okay. My yarn came apart. There we go. And you just want to go into every stitch. You really don't have to worry about making corners on this portion because you just want to go around. My hook is stuck. There we go. On this part, it can get a little tight. So just keep going. And as you can see, sometimes it can be a little bit of a struggle to do this part, but just take your time. This yarn is a little finicky, so that's why it's like that for me, but you know, just take your time with what you have and you'll be good to go. Plus, this position I'm in to record is quite uncomfortable. So, my hands are getting a little, well, not even my hands, but my arms getting a little tired. So we're getting here closer to the end of this, okay? And we are going to, do you see how this is bending the corner here? This is the first chain in the corner, second stitch in the corner, third stitch in the corner. First stitch, second stitch, third stitch of the corner, which I can tell because I can see the bottom of the stitches in the hole. You want to make a stitch in the first stitch and a stitch in the second stitch, and then that's it, because you don't want to bend the corner and then like start crocheting on this edge. We don't want to do that. So we're just going to go into the corner and go into this middle. Girl, this yarn is killing me. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay. And this is where we're going to stop for now. You are not going to cut this yarn, because now we are going to go around and we are going to make our loops so that it can be attached, or closed, I should say. So we're no longer going into both sides. We're just gonna go into this stitch here. 1, 2, and we're just going to the middle. So we're gonna start right here. Honestly, this is the middle, so we're gonna stop right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just gonna go into 4 more stitches. 1, and on this side, we are just making the, hold on, let me see something. Let me count. We should be in the 7th stitch. So, all right, yeah. So in this 7th stitch right here, make one more. We're going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're gonna put that back in the 7th stitch so that we have a little tiny hole. So you want to chain 5, and then right back in the same stitch, you're gonna put a single crochet. Then we're gonna move on, and we're gonna continue around. Okay, so this is the last stitch right here. All right, so we are going to, what I like to do is when we have something attached like this, I like to go into this single crochet that we made to attach them, and I will make a single crochet right here so that it can all be seamless. And then we're going to continue on the next side. So 1, and we're just gonna continue on until we get to the middle like we did the last time. Now right here you see we have this tail. We are going to crochet over that as well to hide the tail. So you just want to put that on top of the stitches and crochet over top of it so that as we go it'll hide itself. Oh no, it came out. Okay. I would say after 5 stitches you should be good. So you can just take that out or put it behind right there and then keep going. Okay, so we're at the 7th stitch. And we are just going to chain about 30. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I don't feel like that's long enough. We're gonna chain 50. 31, 32, 33, 34. Okay, so that's 50. And then we are going to make sure it's straight and then attach it to the same stitch with a single crochet. 1, 2, 3. Keep single crocheting until the end. Okay, and then like I said, single crochet into that one to make it seamless. And now we are going to slip stitch to the beginning and chain 2, and then cut it off, or however it is that you detach the yarn. Okay, so typically you would trim your ends, but you can do that after you're finished. I'm just gonna tuck that in right here really quickly so that I can show you the end results. And this is what it looks like. So this is the little tie portion. You would just tuck that into the hole so that it can remain closed, you know, so your stuff in here don't come out. And then you can just put this on your bag. You can put it anywhere, you know, attach it, and it's really cute. So that is that. You can use any color yarn, anything. I hope you guys like this tutorial. I know it's a little random to just be making condom pouches, but it is necessary. We gotta stay safe out here, okay? Safe and cute and discreet. So that's the purpose of this. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, do all those really good things, and leave a comment if you have any questions. I will definitely get back to you with an answer. And have a great day. Bye.